Recall that some time ago, the federal government of Nigeria, our own federal government, accused Binance executive of manipulating the dollar against the naira. They accused Binance CEO, the executive, of being behind the astronomical depreciation of the naira against the dollar. Hence, they were arrested and arraigned before the Nigeria Court of Law. Since then, the Binance executive has accused the National Assembly members, 3 members of National Assembly, of requesting for bribery of the sum of 225 billion naira to make the case easy for them, but they refuse. As we speak, the National Assembly members that was accused by the Binance CEO, the Binance executive, of demanding for bribe, have been running helter-skelter to defend themselves. Listen to one of the assembly members and what he has to say about the matter.
We have in the studio one of the lawmakers alleged to have asked for a bribe from the Binance team, Honorable Ginger Onsibe. He is the chairman, House Committee on Financial Crimes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
On Newsnight. I guess I pronounced that name correctly.
Yeah.
Well, even though the federal government has refuted this allegation by the Binance executive, of course, this is a serious allegation, as we know. And this is because he named about 3, lawmakers in these conversations. What do you know so far about Mr. Gembraya's claim, and how do you respond to these allegations?
So, okay, thank you very much. I want to use this opportunity to thank the viewers. First of all, I didn't want to react to this because this matter is sub judice, because it's a matter that is already in the court of law. I had instructed my lawyers to sue Binance because of, this thing didn't start today. This thing started about this time last year when an NGO, coalition of unemployed youth initiative, petitioned the National Assembly through my committee, accusing and alleging of financial and economic crimes against Binance, ranging from tax evasion to financing of terrorism to money laundering to including child abuse. And the committee, you can agree with me that Section 88 and Section 89 of the 1999 Constitution gave the House of Representatives, the National Assembly, the powers to investigate. It also gave the National Assembly, the Senate and the House of Representatives, the powers to summon, extended it to the standing committees, including the ad hoc committees. And by the grace of God and the leave of Mr. Speaker, I am the chairman, House Committee on Financial Crimes. We proceeded and invited the managing director stroke CEO of Binance, Richard Tank, for the reason of fair hearing, so that we can hear his own side of the story. Now, that was in December. In January, around 5th or 4th of January, they contacted the committee through an email requesting for a pre-hearing so that they will be abreast with the allegations leveled against them from this NGO. which for the want of fair hearing, the committee obliged them, and we agreed to meet with them on the 8th of January. And on that day...
On the 8th of January 2025?
Yes, no, 2024.
All right.
On that day, I was unavoidably absent. And, it was January. A lot of people were on holidays. I contacted so many members of my committee. And luckily, Honorable Peter Panke, Honorable Peter Niekwe were in Abuja. So I requested them to meet with this team, so as to present the petition to them, so that they will be abreast with the petition and agree on a date that is convenient for them, so that we can come for hearing.
Well, based on your, on your investigation,
yes.
What did you find out at that time? Because you are the, committee chairman.
Yeah.
In charge of the investigation.
Yeah.
So what did you find, and what were the behind-the-scene role that you play? Perhaps...
Yes, as at the time we got the petition, we had written to Security and Exchange Commission, we have written to CBN, we have written to FIRS, because you are talking about tax evasion here, you are talking about terrorism, financing, you are talking about other things. We're expecting them to bring their input. We have not even started this investigation. So right. the hearing was supposed to be on the 10th of January, and it was agreed. On that 10th, we came, the entire members of the committee came, they sent a legal representative. And by the tradition of the House, and there's no way the House would have accepted evidence from a lawyer. The committee said no, that they must be represented in person. And that was the decision of the committee. And the committee resolved and adjourned for that day. I can tell you that I never met any of the Binance team. They never saw me. I never met them, because that first meeting they came to the National Assembly on the 8th of January, I was not there.
Okay, so who were there at the meeting?
Yes, I've also said, I've also mentioned the members.
Commission, a honorable, chairman in charge of the committee. Perhaps even if you're not around, maybe.
Yes, I've told you that I got Honorable Peter Banke, who is a member of my committee, and I asked him to get. I got also Honorable Peter Niekwe, and I asked them to meet with these people so as to agree. First of all, they requested to have the petition, give them the petition so that the study is their right. So as to agree on the date, convenient for both parties for the hearing, which they agreed on the 10th. And I want to quote Richard Teng. After that day, we now got a report that that team, they were arrested by the DSS, because on the next day we adjourned to meet. They sent a lawyer. The lawyer came to the committee meeting and informed the committee that this Gambarian and the other man that escaped from that they are in DSS custody. So we couldn't continue with the meeting. We adjourned too. Okay. The next day, the CEO of Binance, Richard Teng, now came on his X, formerly known as Twitter, and now published that Gambarian is innocent, that he should be released. That after the pre-hearing meeting in the National Assembly, that unknown, I quote, unknown persons accosted his team and requested for a bribe of $150 million.
Just a moment, Honorable, just to be clear about this.
Yes.
I mean, between when you presented this petition for the two teams to meet, walk us through. This happened before they were arrested, and of course they were detained, because both of them, the Gambarian and of course one other Binance executive, were also detained.
Yes.
So walk us through that process. This happened before the arrest of Binance executives, or it was in the process when they were detained that this was happening? And
no,
that's
they met on the 8th.
Okay.
They had not been arrested that day. So they were arrested after the meeting of the 8th.
Okay.
So on the 10th, they agreed for the hearing.
Okay. Point taken. I mean, of course, because we just need to clarify this issue, because given this level of serious allegation, let's even talk about within the National Assembly, given the serious claim, seriousness of this claim, has there been any formal investigation initiated by the National Assembly or anti-corruption agencies to perhaps look into what happened, what were the findings since this allegation or this allegation came out? Were there any?
Yes, when this allegation came out, the office of the NSA invited me.
All right.
Yes, and I presented myself. I was asked to tell the story. I told them everything that happened. And in fact, I made a statement. I was invited as chairman of the committee because my name was flying left, right, and center as at that time. So I went to the office of the NSA and I told them clearly that I never met Binance. I don't have their contact. All our correspondences were through their mail. I can also produce all of them. They were all official. So I told them that the day they came, I was not there. I didn't see them. And my members also briefed me. The meeting was formal and official, and it ended in a cordial distance. There was no reason to demand for bribe because the investigation has not even started. So, and I verily believe them because I don't think there's any reason for any sane person to start demanding from bribe, for bribe. For what?
I mean, just also speak about this because apart from forex manipulation, like you also talked about the fact that the Binance and its executive were also charged for, with tax evasion and money laundering as well. And we also do know that some of the charges, were dropped, except, perhaps the issue of forex manipulation and the tax evasion still remain. But the charges that were dropped, as we hear, why were some of these charges, later dropped? Perhaps if you can clarify about that.
Well, I don't think I have the reasons why, but I carefully read the release made by the Minister of Information yesterday.
Right.
He said that there was a high-level diplomatic truce that went between the United States and Nigeria. He also mentioned that this same Binance offered to pay Nigeria about $5 million, but they refused it and chose a better arrangement that favored Nigeria. So at that level, they should know the reason why they decided to agree to the truce.
Okay, I need you to also, because talked about this before I let you go. We know that Mr. Gambrian is, suing the federal government as well for unlawful detention. I don't know if you're aware about that, seeking compensation as well, because he said he was unlawfully detained, even though one, has escaped from prison. One, the two questions I want to ask you is that, does it bother you that a high profile as such, as this case, appears that an official will escape from the custody? That's one. Then two, how much of weight do you think this allegation carry, and how do you intend, at the National Assembly to clear your name from this allegation going forward?
Well, let me just start from the last question you asked. I don't think the allegation carries any weight because a clear conscience fears no accusation. First of all, I'm already in court with them. I instructed my lawyer in June last year to write them to retract what they have published about me and also apologize to me and publish in national dailies. And my lawyer wrote them and they gave some flimsy excuses. I now directed my lawyer to sue them. The matter is already in court in Federal Capital Territory High Court. In fact, the matter is coming up on Wednesday. So this matter was filed last year. I'm already in court with them. So that is my own way of proving myself. And I can assure you that I will pursue this case to a conclusive end.
All right.
Yes. So on the issue of somebody, one of them escaping from the custody of the DSS, that is what the Nigerian government need to investigate to know how and why somebody at that level should escape from the custody of such a high security apparatus.
Well, thank you so much, Honorable Jinja Onsibe, the Chairman, House Committee on Financial Crimes. Thank you so much for
thank you very much.
Coming on Newsnight and for explaining to us the role that the National Assembly played in this case. Thank you so much.
Yes, let me say one thing before we go.
All right.
You see,
if you can make it brief.
Yes, I'll make it very brief. I want to state categorically clear that at no point did I demand for bribe from this team. If they have any proof, let them bring it. If I see any proof today, I will resign from this position. I say it before God and man. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
The fact that he is saying that he has instructed his lawyers to file a case against Binance executive over this allegation is weird and surprising to me. However, if you take a look at it from your second lens, we discover that the truth might be what the truth might be exactly what the Binance executives are saying. Our legislators are culpable. Yes, we cannot vouch for these guys. They are always about their stomach infrastructure. That is why most time when they are elected, they forget their constituents and remain in Abuja till their tenure elapses.